Welcome back, nigga, and it's like that, nigga. Another episode of Survival Time. We finna get into Juice. We finna see what's up with Juice and what's going on with what the fuck, why Tupac almost got his ass fired off the set. A lot of people don't know that shit. We finna get into the story though.
We went from the cops going to the gun. Why should he hold on to the gun? Because I already got it.
Wanna die? Is that it? You wanna die? The desperate words of Q echo through the Harlem night as he confronts his childhood friend turned cold-blooded killer on a New York rooftop. But did you know that this iconic confrontation almost never happened? That Tupac Shakur, delivering one of the most chilling portrayals of a sociopath in 1990s cinema, was nearly fired from the set of Juice halfway through production. They tried to replace Tupac. The gun went missing. The ending was changed. And still, Juice became a classic. The role Tupac was never meant to play. The truth is, Tupac wasn't even supposed to be in the audition room that day. He only landed the role after walking a friend, Money B from Digital Underground, into the audition. Tupac wasn't on the call sheet, but while waiting, he casually read Bishop's lines with Money B and stunned the casting team so much that they asked him to audition on the spot. That impromptu moment changed the trajectory of his entire career. When cinematographer Ernest Dickerson stepped behind the camera for his directorial debut in 1991, he wasn't just making another hood film. He was documenting a warning, one inspired by a real-life shooting that had shaken him years earlier in his own neighborhood. What began as Dickerson's personal mission would eventually launch the careers of multiple superstars and create a template for hip-hop cinema that still reverberates today. Why Puffy was rejected for Bishop. For 9 long years, Dickerson's script bounced between studios, collecting rejection letters. When Paramount finally greenlit the project, they originally suggested turning it into a comedy, even proposing Cosby Show star Malcolm Jamal Warner for a lead role. Dickerson refused, fighting to maintain the raw.
First of all, that wouldn't even make no fucking sense. How you gonna turn this into a damn comedy? Second of all, why the fuck did they call Diddy? Who the fuck was Diddy finna scare? That ain't scaring nobody.
I fuck with Tupac. Like, he don't even gotta say shit to know his demeanor is just so fucking cold. He didn't give a fuck about them firing him because he knew that y'all can't replace this nigga. He already didn't won everybody over with the role, and he even showed y'all that he can fit this role even outside the role. So he just basically just proved his point. Shit, he can't be replaced.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of sidetrack her on that because like she don't really know like that. The real reason was because he was working on his album around this time. Not really just that, he was also working with Digital Underground around this time. So he was really spread thin. He'd get right off the movie set and have to go right to the studio. They were shooting a movie too at that time with Digital Underground where he was shooting a movie also. He was fucking around though, but he also had a friend of his die at the time of him shooting this movie, and eventually that made him not come for some days, and he wasn't coming for some days because he flew back to LA or Oakland or wherever the fuck it was at, or Marin City, and went to their funeral and shit because one of his friends got killed over some rims or some shit like that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was because they were trying to get him some shit. Because, you know, people always try to fuck with Tupac. Like, no matter what he did, they always just trying to give him a hard time.
A lot of people don't be knowing the backstory behind why Tupac be doing a lot of stuff he do. It be just so many, he's just doing random ass dumb shit, but
he been surviving for so long. Even when the nigga made it, like, even when he made it in his career, he still was surviving, still, like, as if he was, like, even though he was in his music and stuff, he still had to deal with his street shit. Like, it's like he never left that shit. Well, he wasn't even in the street for real. It was more so like, I'm sorry, I'll backtrack. He was already born with a target on his back. He even admitted this. You know, his father and all of them being the Black Panthers and stuff like that. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Like, this is a smart man. But
smart nigga, but he got himself into a lot of situations that like he wasn't 100% thinking through until like they happened.
Unflinching vision that had driven him to write the story in the first place. The casting process itself reveals how close we came to a completely different film. When a young Sean Puffy Combs auditioned for the role of Bishop, he was quickly rejected. Studio executives saw something dangerous and unpredictable in another young actor, a relatively unknown rapper named Tupac Shakur. But what they didn't know was that Tupac's intensity was precisely what the film needed. Why Tupac almost got fired. This character is Tupac. Dickerson reportedly told producers who were concerned about the rapper's behavior, "You don't fire the storm, you film it." That decision would prove prophetic. Halfway through filming, producers seriously considered replacing Tupac after conflicts arose on set. His intensity was concerning. Some crew members complained he was difficult to work with, but Dickerson stood firm, recognizing that the raw energy Tupac brought to Bishop Bishop wasn't just acting, it was a channeling of something real and visceral. What's even more fascinating is how Tupac transformed the character from the page to the screen. In early drafts of the script, Bishop was written as a generic bad influence character, a troublemaker without much depth. But when Tupac stepped in, he rebuilt the character from the ground up, infusing Bishop with trauma, paranoia, and moral complexity that wasn't in the original screenplay.
Niggas gotta remember Tupac is a fucking actor, bro. Another thing is too, the nigga, that's my favorite part in the movie when he say, Raheem is dead, somebody shot him. He did that shit so smooth, like, nigga, you didn't shoot this nigga. Like, I love that movie, boy. It's just how he played it. But out of everybody in the movie, to me, he did the best not off the fact that he was playing a badass, just off the simple fact that how he was able to channel that character.
Piggyback to what I previously said. Motherfuckers was fucking with Tupac. Anything that Tupac do, he put his heart, blood, sweat, and tears in that shit, because when Tupac producing something, it's gonna be authentic, it's gonna be raw, it's not gonna be no bullshit. So when you telling Tupac to get in character, best believe he's gonna get in character and step in beyond that. Because not only that, Tupac lived his damn life a little bit. He probably felt like he can relate to this character, so he brought that rawness up out of him. You can't get mad at him. Sometimes he aggressive, he intense, difficult to work with. Do y'all want this motherfucker to be a classic or not? Sometimes you gotta step on a couple motherfuckers' toes to get the product done. See, this nigga was a cleaner. He was a cleaner.
Anyway, yeah, because y'all don't know what that is. Anyway, back to what I was finna say though too. The fact that niggas don't realize when it come to Tupac is how mature he had to be to even take this role on and be able to carry it like this. The nigga wasn't even, I think he was like 21, 20, no, he was 20 at the time. He had to play a nigga who was traumatized, not only just from being bullied in the neighborhood, but also his daddy was technically raped. That's what they kind of be insinuating in the movie. And I had to find out years later, that's why he was all froze up on the couch.
The words that were never written. Dickerson made the unusual decision to let Tupac and Omar Epps ad-lib many of their exchanges, as the original script contained slang that had become outdated during the 9 years the project sat in development. This improvisation is why their conversations feel so authentic. They were essentially rewriting the script in real time, speaking in their own voices. If you've ever seen the official poster for Juice, you might notice something missing: a gun. The original promotional materials featured Bishop holding his revolver, but Paramount executives concerned about glorifying violence airbrushed the weapon out at the last minute. This wasn't just an aesthetic choice, it represented the studio's deep anxiety about the film's raw portrayal of urban violence. When the gun went missing on set. Speaking of that gun, the revolver used in the film was a real decommissioned weapon with the firing pin removed. During production, it went missing for 48 hours, causing panic among the crew. Though eventually recovered, the incident highlighted just how fragile and under-resourced the production was, operating on a tight $5 million budget. To stretch those limited funds, Dickerson made a daring choice that contributed to the film's documentary-like authenticity. Several scenes were shot guerrilla style in Harlem without proper permits. Dickerson later admitted they stole these shots, blending with foot traffic and using hidden cameras. Harlem wasn't just a setting, it was a character. This wasn't just any Harlem either. It was early 1990s Harlem, a neighborhood in the grip of the crack epidemic, where tensions ran high and opportunities ran low. The real streets where they filmed didn't just provide a backdrop, they provided the visceral energy that pulses through every frame of the film. Local residents would sometimes watch filming, their reactions captured in real time, blurring the line between actor and observer, fiction and reality.
They was talking about this in another video, but shit, that shit is actually dope. I said this artistically, how they like take shots in movies when they be under budget like that, especially with black movies and black TV shows, they be under budget as fuck, and they be having to just shoot on the fly, like they can't pay for security and all that, Baby Boy, all that shit, Boys in the Hood, all that shit. They didn't have no security on set, they had to rely on their damn instincts. Shit, this just really show how dope that movie was, how realistic you could really, why that movie even linger to this day is because the fact you could feel that shit. You could really feel like the energy of that movie when you watch it to this day.
Yeah, too, it's some scenes in there that Tupac did that wasn't even in the script at all. Like that part, he was like, I don't give a fuck about you, I don't give a fuck about myself. Somewhere along them lines or somewhere in that scene, that shit wasn't even supposed to even be in there.
No, but that's why I said he's so mature for that character to come out how it did, because like he said that part and he said it so intense to motherfuckers motherfuckers, that was one of the parts where motherfuckers was like, he was kind of like on set tweaking or whatever. People thought like they was taking that shit for real. Like they was like on some like, damn.
Shit, points out, that's probably did feel like that once. Shit, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about myself. Shit.
Nah, they just felt like he was on some like murderous shit. But shit, that was how cold he was. That's how good of an actor he was.
They said it was a classic. Now look, you can't get mad now.
Have you seen
Hey,
Juice?
that lights no. Hey, I only seen like little, you know.
You never seen Juice,
But I know
nigga?
what it's about. I seen like
That's fucking crazy.
but I don't know it enough. I seen enough to know I know what it is. Like
She don't know what the
concept,
fuck
whatever.
going on, bro.
Hey, that light skin dude in there. Hey, yeah, in a group, a singing group. That
A
light
rapping
skin-
group or something like that. Or I think he was in something. I'm forgetting. I know he was in a bunch of movies though. He was in a few movies, small roles.
Like somebody from B2K.
Hell no.
The scene so dark Paramount made them change it. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of Tupac's portrayal of Bishop is how seriously he took the psychological toll of the role. According to Money B of Digital Underground, Tupac wrote a poem titled Bishop Lives after filming Wrapped, a piece meant to process the darkness he had absorbed during production. Though never officially published, Tupac reportedly read it to friends during a freestyle session, describing the poem as therapy for carrying a ghost. This psychological depth manifested in one of the film's most interesting creative decisions, an alternate ending that was filmed but never used. In this version, Bishop actively chooses to fall to his death rather than accept Q's help, a reflection of the character's inability to live with what he's become. Test audiences found this ending too disturbing, leading to the slightly more ambiguous conclusion in the final cut. Why Juice changed the game for rap stars in film. The impact of Juice extended far beyond its modest commercial success. While it grossed roughly $20 million against its $5 million budget, respectable but not spectacular, its cultural footprint proved far more significant. The film helped launch what industry insiders would later call rapper realism, a subgenre that proved hip-hop artists could carry serious dramatic roles. While Boys N the Hood is often credited with pioneering hood cinema, it was Juice that established the template for integrating authentic hip-hop culture into film narratives. Tupac's breakthrough performance directly influenced later casting choices, from DMX in Belly to 50 Cent in Get Rich or Die Tryin'. Studios began actively recruiting rap artists for dramatic roles, recognizing the authentic cultural connection they brought to these stories. For the young cast, Juice represented a launching pad to stardom. It marked the first film roles for Tupac, Omar Epps, and Khalil Kain, but their path to the screen wasn't smooth. Each had to fight.
Bro, at the end of the day, all of them, that was all of they like starting like launch pad for their careers. Because the nigga that played Steel, Jermaine Hopkins, I believe that's his name. He ended up doing like the Wayans brothers and all that after that. Omar Epps really took off once he started working with John Singleton due to the simple fact Tupac catching his case with that rape shit. But that's how he got that movie where he was playing the track runner and shit. Higher Learning. That's how he got that role, because that was supposed to be a Tupac role.
Yeah. So basically Tupac opened up the role. Opened up the gate basically for people wanting now to see rappers in a different type of light. Like, what else can we see you do besides rap?
It wasn't even just Tupac. They got Queen Latifah in the movie. They had a bunch of niggas in the movie.
Yeah, but they
at the time that was
saying
rapping.
Juice just had to crawl so they ass can walk.
No.
Plus, like rappers.
Juice had to like not even crawl. They had to like be on the bottom.
Slither.
Because back then it wasn't no for rap, not even for rap movies, for movies like this, like black movies like this, Boys in the Hood and stuff like that, Menace to Society. They wasn't trying to put no money into that.
Yeah.
At this time, white America was starting to fuck with rap. People not gonna think about this part of the game, but white America was starting to fuck with rap. So they didn't want their kids being influenced by this culture for real. They didn't want this shit really getting out there. When Chris Rock made CB4, niggas need to realize how realistic that movie really is, because Eazy-E's father really was a fucking mail driver, a fucking delivery driver for he was a mailman and his mama was a teacher. That's the thing. You really got to understand how close these things are to what they talking about. It might be comedy, it might be entertainment, but some of this shit is actually 100% facts. We seen that earlier with motherfucking Dead Presidents, but that's really what they trying to say. They taking rappers, not even because it's too, but that's what he did. He brought that so much authenticity to that character, but not even just him, all of them did. But that's why they started taking rappers, because now they feel like they could pull that role off better than a regular actor. That is true, but at the end of the day, that's why a lot of rappers get typecasted and don't be liking to do movies, because they be like, damn, I keep playing this role, I keep getting this role. And that was the thing with Tupac. After he played this role, he didn't want to play this role again.
He wants to do something different.
Even though he ended up
Because
playing a villain,
they got used to him being like that.
a street street dude.
Yeah.
And the thing is, yeah, he played a villain after that, but he didn't play the same type of villain. And another thing is too, even after that, he played in Poetic Justice, and that just turned him all around as far as how you saw him as an actor.
Yeah, I liked him in there.
Have you seen Poetic Justice, nigga?
He was a mailman driving a truck.
Yeah, he was broke as fuck. Hey, listen. Nah, but for real,
No, people, if you have a good job and still be
broke.
and still be broke.
You ain't lying.
Man, let me tell you something. Every time they raise the cost of living, they raise our pay, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't even what I was
But
saying.
guess what? It's like they only do it enough for us to pay our bills, but not enough to actually maneuver. It's just supposed to be stagnant where we at. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. I was letting you get your point off. I was really more so aiming at the fact simply, like, for the role that he was playing for the movie, he was a single father. He was doing all the stuff that he was doing. It just showed him in a different light, in a different aspect. It actually, Tupac had no children at the time. People don't really speak on that role as much as they probably should have, because Tupac actually played clean out of character with that. He had a daughter, and he really looked like he had a fucking daughter. Like, he was really in there showing compassion and empathy and things like that. Ice Cube ain't even doing all that. DMX, none of them ever really did what Tupac was able to do in a small amount of time.
DMX ate that motherfucking movie belly up.
That's about it. Everything else, that's it. And DMX couldn't really get outside of that character because they wouldn't let him. And another thing is too, he can't really get outside of that character because that's too much his actual character.
I don't think he like being uncomfortable. DMX one of those type of people, he don't like being uncomfortable. He wouldn't mind being uncomfortable spiritually, like when it come to God, but like far as like flesh wise, he don't like being uncomfortable. He would like to stay in his I'm a dog nigga type of. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. That's what he said.
For their opportunity. Epps was working at a Foot Locker when he landed the role of Q, while Tupac was primarily known as a dancer for Digital Underground, not yet established as a solo artist. A real rooftop in Harlem inspired the final scene. The rooftop confrontation wasn't a random setting. It was chosen because of a real story Dickerson remembered from his youth. A young man had died on that exact rooftop during a standoff in the 1970s. Dickerson never forgot it. That location to him symbolized choices, whether to pull someone up or let them fall. Soundtrack success that almost didn't happen. The film's soundtrack also deserves recognition as a cultural artifact. Released in 1991, it featured a who's who of hip-hop talent, including Naughty by Nature, who invited...
That's Tupac right there with all that red on for y'all who don't know.
Go back.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to picture the dude. The group. No, okay, I'm sorry.
Soundtrack success that almost didn't happen.
He looked familiar. What's his name?
It's Tretch, Vinny, and fuck is his name, man?
His name Vinny?
No, his name Vinny. That's Tretch. You know who Salt and Pepper is?
Yeah, it's so.
That's Pepper, baby mama. I mean, baby daddy. That's Pepper, baby daddy.
Okay.
I forget what the fuck their DJ name is.
This group sound familiar. The name. I gotta hear a song.
You know they fucking song. Yeah, they made fucking you down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Yeah, that's them. That's them.
Okay, yeah, okay. Go ahead.
These niggas is out here not knowing the culture. Him and Tupac is best friends, right?
Vinny?
No, Tretch.
Okay.
He got Tretch and Juice. Tretch is putting him on the wall and shit when he fighting with the little Puerto Rican. Oh, you ain't never seen the fucking movie. I'm gonna show her the movie, y'all. Don't even trip. Anyway, yeah. Tretch is in a movie beating up on Tupac and shit. That's what's funny. But Tupac actually got him a role in the movie. But yeah. Even Tretch was speaking on him being on his audition. He was like, bro, I went up in the audition room with my knife out because I thought it was something serious happening. Like he said, he thought it was real commotion. He said because Tupac was throwing shit, going crazy and doing all type of wild shit. He said he thought he was really fighting up in there. He said the whole time he was just playing a role. He said, my nigga, you got that role, my nigga. He said next week he told him Tupac had told him he got the role or whatever. And he was telling me he was gonna fly him out. Oh wait, another thing I wanted to touch on is the therapy thing. Like Michael B. Jordan was saying it with the center shit. He was like the role took a lot of toll on him. I really want to point that out because Tupac is one of the main niggas who do this as an artist. Like niggas need to realize your art is your therapy. So when niggas be sitting here rapping and integrating your issues and certain things with that shit, you taking away from the therapeutic aspect. That nigga took that and he put that shit and he buried that shit into a poem. Like these niggas is actually taking that shit and trying to carry it on through songs instead of just taking them feelings and putting them in the song and letting it just be that. They taking it from the page and taking it to the street or just taking it even further. And that's really what the fuck music ain't even supposed to be about. The whole point of music is supposed to be therapeutic. The whole point of art is supposed to be therapeutic. Whether you paint, whether you write poetry, whether you do whatever you're doing, it's supposed to be therapeutic. It could be ballet, hooping. It's supposed to be therapeutic. It's your escapism. So for you to do what niggas is doing today, I think that shit is strange to me.
And it's what it can do for others.
But that's the thing. Niggas don't take. That's why music ain't as real no more because nobody's thinking like that. If they thought more like that, more music would touch more people right now.
By Nature, who invited Tupac to appear in their video for Uptown Anthem. anthem. But initially, Paramount wasn't planning to release a soundtrack at all, believing the film's music wouldn't have commercial appeal beyond the urban market. It was only after Dickerson partnered with MCA Records executive Lewis Silas Jr. that the soundtrack was greenlit, eventually becoming a gold-certified release that outlived the film's theatrical run. The filmmaking technique that changed everything. Another overlooked aspect of Juice is its revolutionary cinematography. While Dickerson was primarily known as Spike Lee's cinematographer, he brought a distinctive visual language to Juice that had never been seen before in urban cinema. He used a technique called subjective camera during Bishop's violent episodes, where the camera subtly shifts perspective to put viewers inside Bishop's mind. This effect wasn't just stylistic, it was psychological, making audiences complicit in Bishop's descent into madness. This technique has since been adopted by countless filmmakers, but was considered groundbreaking in 1992. The video store scene that predicted Tupac's future. In one of the film's most chilling coincidences, there's a scene where Bishop walks past a video store with a poster showing a man with his hands up, foreshadowing both the film's ending and, in a tragic twist of fate, Tupac's own future. Some film scholars have noted that this unintentional visual parallel feels almost prophetic given the circumstances of Tupac's death 4 years later. Dickerson has confirmed this was completely unplanned, just one of those eerie cinematic accidents that seems charged with meaning in retrospect. Bishop was never just a villain, he was a warning, and Tupac carried that ghost with him long after the camera stopped. The question isn't whether Q had the juice, it's whether Bishop ever had a chance. At Primetime Throwback, we're dedicated to exploring the hidden histories behind the film.
We're gonna stop this shit right there. Actually, I'm finna get pissed off because I hate when people do that to Tupac. First of all, nigga, it's not that he carries a ghost with him, bitch ass nigga. The thing is, Tupac was going through so much at the time in his career, and with things going the way they were going, these things are gonna make a nigga temperamental. For one, he had a rape case going on, he had all type of other shit going on. You got niggas trying to fuck with him on some other shit because he out here rapping how he rapping, so he can't just be him. As per usual, niggas gotta fuck with you and try to prove who tougher than who because who you are or what position you in, and it just be killing me. At the end of the day, niggas keep wanting to gang up on this man legacy, and it pisses me off. Stop doing that. The nigga was going through a lot of shit at the time. One day he was trying to prove himself to other niggas. Instead, he was just going through a lot of shit at the time. He had to pay not just his rent, he got to pay his mama rent, his sister's rent. He got to make sure motherfuckers is straight at a time frame when rappers ain't getting much money. The majority of his money is coming from movies for real at this time. And Tupac didn't have no money until he really got to death row. Niggas need to stop with this dumbass narrative. Like Tupac was just out here just wilding the fuck out like he was just some prep school nigga just getting money and woo, he had a better way out or route or whatever. However he ended, it don't have nothing to do with the bullshit y'all talking about. That's why the fuck I'm glad this P. Diddy case is coming to a fold, because at the end of the day, now more people are doing their fucking research on what the fuck happened. Niggas paid bounties for niggas chains and niggas wanted to stand with niggas because at the end of the day, I'm signed with y'all too. That could have been my fucking chain if it was me. If they caught me out there, they could have took my fucking chain. Niggas be like, oh, he shouldn't touch nobody. You don't know what the fuck you would do if you fucking with some niggas and them your homies and y'all all surrounding each other. We don't know what they day to day was like. I just found out that niggas was out there really carrying this nigga around the hood for real, like a trophy for real. Like they fucked with him. I knew that, but I didn't know how hard. I knew that he got the hood tatted on him, all that. Niggas be killing me with this shit. People fucked with Tupac for a reason, bro. And these are the realest niggas you could find on the street. Monster Cody even fuck with that nigga, even though he's gay and we found out he's a bitch ass nigga and he's raping niggas. A lot of real niggas respect Tupac off the strength of who the fuck Tupac is, off the genuine status. That's who the fuck he is, a genuine fucking person. Y'all niggas need to stop with this bullshit, all that bullshit.
It's like y'all attacking him for him being him.
That's what I hate. It's like a nigga can't be themselves, bro.
But
every time they doing something
people don't
different.
like real, raw, authentic shit no more. People like plants.
It ain't even no more.
People like things that they can grow.
This was back
on
then too.
their own.
They didn't like him back then. So you got rappers who
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, but that's the thing.
They can't
Rap,
change him.
no, listen, that's the thing. When it come to rap, wasn't no industry plan at that point in time until you started to see other motherfuckers come in and copy other motherfuckers shit that wasn't even supposed to be in the game, which is where you have certain other artists. But during this time frame, there was no such thing as an industry plan. You couldn't even do that for real at the time. You could try, you would make a one-hit wonder, but in real time, you couldn't really do that. Now you how they doing that shit, you can really do that shit and make a real star out of that shit. But in real time, no. An industry plant was Rockwell. I always feel like somebody watching me, but he only had that one fucking hit. That's the industry plant because his daddy was a record CEO and he just got a free whim. Couldn't nobody even get in contact with Michael Jackson at that time. He had just dropped Thriller. Thriller was on fucking fire. His label wouldn't even let him do a a fucking video with his brother. Yeah, here he is on the fucking hook with this nigga. Cause his daddy got the nigga on call. That's an industry plant. But back then when it come to rap, they didn't know how to do that shit. That's why they was saying with the movies, they didn't know what to do with that shit, cause they didn't want to use that shit for America's influence. They was cool with us dancing and singing. They didn't like this shit. That's why they didn't like MC Hammer. Other rappers hated MC Hammer when he first came out.
Especially when they know we can dominate this shit though.
But see, that's the thing. It ain't that they didn't give a fuck if we was dominating the shit. We wasn't even dominating. Vanilla Ice sold more records than any rapper out back then. Matter of fact, Eminem sold more records than anybody.
No, I was talking to say Eminem, like, okay.
They support their people more than we support our people. But my thing is this: you gotta remember.
It's like they would rather see the black talent on somebody that's not black. That's what it's looking like.
Nah. I can't even 100% say that. Look at how we treat our
accept
entertainers.
Elvis, but you can't accept the motherfucker who actually is Elvis.
Because it's so easy for his people who is not Elvis to go and not support Elvis because they mad it's not them being Elvis. See what I'm saying? White people don't even, real talk, I get more support fucking doing this shit as far as doing content, regular content, than I did as a rapper because it's so competitive. Niggas is rapping, that's fucking your fucking producers rapping, the beat maker rapping, the video artist making where he rapping.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking rapping.
Yeah.
And they won't fuck with your shit for real because they gotta do their shit. They trying to do their shit. Like, bro,
Yeah, they don't
nobody
treat better
concentrate
than
on
them.
exactly. They not even focused on
Both
their actual
y'all, all
aspect.
y'all trying to get to the same spot, and it's like they ain't trying to be a hater, but at the same time they don't territory.
They closing the gap about this big, and it's stupid because why would I rap as an engineer when I make more money than a rapper do if I get to the right studio?
Because everybody want to be the face. Everybody
Why
care
do
about more
that's
being
what I'm trying to say.
seen
But
than actually worry
you know
about
what's
getting the
crazy?
shit done.
You know what's crazy? That's only in the black culture and that's only in the hip hop culture.
Because a lot of people want the fame and the money, but you can't have both. I mean, it's possible, but I ain't saying it's not possible to not have both. But I'm just saying, like,
It'd be possible for these white folks. Led Zeppelin, all them niggas still touring. Our people don't tour because we don't support them. Our people don't get far because we don't support them. We be so busy talking about that nigga saying don't fuck him, don't buy his music. That nigga saying don't fuck him, don't watch that movie. We gonna bootleg it. You think these white folks gonna bootleg that shit? You know people boycotted Eminem, but you know white people never even let that shit out the fucking world for real because they still supported that nigga. But as soon as a black man have an issue, they turn on that man. Eminem was rapping about fucking his mama and white people got on his ass, like the higher up white people didn't want him rapping about that shit. But his fans was so heavy and white people were so supportive of him, they pushed that nigga through anyway. He's the biggest selling artist to this day.
wait, what? Rewind.
You had songs where he's talking about fucking his mama. Come on.
He was in love with his mama.
Nah, you just talking about raping her
Why?
and killing her because a lot of shit she did to him as a kid.
I can see killing, but why you wanna
Traumatized and shit.
see what I said? Why do people use sex as a weapon?
Because
Why do people do that? Like he could have just not saying doesn't make it any better, but he could have just went on and just killed her. Like talk about killing her. Why he gotta?
An ape man dominating you in a way is like taking away something from you. But it's like people don't realize what they taking from you when they do that. But yeah. Anyway, as far as this shit go with Tupac and shit, that's really what I really want to rip off with that shit. Like I'm getting sick of all the Tupac hate, bro. Y'all gotta stop this shit. Y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think. I'm gone.
Yeah. Hey, gotta know your purpose, understand what worth is. These snakes is lurking, observing, trying to close your curtains. These hoes be